Hello, how are you? Are you good? That's good to hear. So, I'm gonna tell you the story about how I learned how to ride a bike. Okay, that's a good story. That's a good jumping off point, I believe. So, I didn't learn how to ride a bike until I was like 9 or something, or 10 maybe. I don't know, because okay. So the first time I tried to ride a bike, I was 5, and I wound up falling off and skinning my knee like wide open. Like I got like my kneecap bones was sticking out. It was disgusting, and people were like, "Oh, it's gross." That little boy, he's got all sorts of bones sticking out of his. What? He found a fucking dick. Okay. He's got little bones sticking out of his knees. It's gross. I don't want to look at it. It's making me want to vomit, to be honest. I don't want to vomit, so I'm going to restrain myself from vomiting. But just so you know that I'm disgusted by this, it's the truth. It's you should go get that checked out at a hospital. And after that whole experience, I'm like, well, I don't really want to have to go through that again, so I'm not going to get back on a bike again. If you can get hurt that bad on a bike, I'm not going to go ahead and try and do that again. It's like drinking like poison after you already know it's poisonous and you've done it once before. You have to go get your stomach pumped and get all that bleach out of there, or whatever it was you drank, because you're a fucking idiot and you don't know how to be smart about the things that you put into your body. Like people put things like marijuana in their body, and it makes you go insane and kill people, because that's what marijuana is, and that's why it's illegal. And that's the only reason why it's legal, not because of any sort of yellow journalism that took place half centuries ago. Nothing like that. Nothing. Not a thing. And I would know all about that. I researched it because I researched my own information. I'm a smart boy who does smart things, and I like to go skiing sometimes, and I also like to play racquetball. Racquetball is a fun sport. If you've ever played racquetball, you can go into a gym or something. They've got racquetball rooms, little rooms with like glass windows on the front, and then it's like a little courtroom that you have to interesting. Okay. Right. So, anyways, racquetball. I don't really understand how to play it, but it's like you just all you're doing is hitting a ball back and forth, and it's fun. It's like tennis, but like you play it on the same side of the court. Basically, that's the best way I can describe the sport. It's just tennis, but you play it on the same side of the court. So if you want to learn how to play it yourself, then it's not like taught. You really just gotta know. Right. So, anyways. Okay, stop this. Please, no more of this. Please, thank you. Right, anyways. Okay, so this requires a lot of concentration. I'm not going to be saying much during this segment here. I'm going to be trying my best to be informative, but at the same time, I've got to concentrate. I don't like to concentrate too hard. I like to take life easy, and you got to concentrate on stuff. Especially in your off time. In your off time, you gotta concentrate on things that you don't know so much about. Then it's like, well, what's even the point of having fun if you're just going to have to like pay so much attention to something that you forgot about a long time ago, right? So just be okay with who you are. That's what it's all about. Just being okay with who you are. You're Italian, you're Jewish, you're black, you're Chechnyan, I don't know. It's just have fun. Just all you gotta do is have fun. You know, that's what life's all about. You can't be spending all this time taking yourself so seriously. You have to understand that kind of. You have to know that life is not all about taking yourself seriously, having a job, having a career, and just working your ass off all of your life. You can't be doing that. You have to know when to just call it in. You know, just be like, all right, well, I'm done. We're done with what we're doing here, and I don't know what I'm saying. I honestly don't know. I'm just shooting a guy in space, and that's, for some reason, it's more difficult than it looks. And it requires a lot of concentration. And I'm not about that, you know? I'm a very In a previous year, I might have been diagnosed with attention deficit disorder, and I don't think there's anything wrong with having attention deficit disorder, but just like so you can get a better perspective on who I am as a human guy. I'm the kind of guy who has such a horrible affliction that causes me to be unable to concentrate for more than a little bit. So anyways, okay, thank God I won. Thank Jesus. The God who does exist, right? So he's your God, he's my God, he's everyone's God. You can't claim one God as your own. You have to share him with your friends and your family and your sweetheart. I got a hair in my mouth, that's gross.
It's funny how history repeats itself. Yet again, Engine has failed to defeat you. For this we must destroy you!
Terrifying. Okay. I think we're on the home stretch here. And I can call this good. This is, honestly, I'm getting real tired of this one. This one's wearing its welcome real fast, if you know what I'm saying. If you understand the things that I'm saying to you with my mouth. Okay, so, anyways, something I was hearing about not too long ago, I guess they're trying to do away with pennies, because pennies are a huge inconvenience, and it actually winds up costing companies more to maintain pennies than the pennies themselves are actually worth. And I think that that's unacceptable, because if a penny is costing you more than the face value of itself, then what's even the point of keeping it around, you know what I'm saying? It's just not worth it. It's not worth it at all. So I think some countries like Canada have actually done away with the penny. And I think Canada's actually got the right idea. Canada's got a very... People say Canada's got like a very socialist type of government. And I don't know, socialism done right isn't necessarily bad, but any form of government done right also isn't necessarily bad. And I think that's the biggest thing that people are missing the point of, is that most governments are just incompetent, or they're looking out for the best interest, or they don't really care about you. They see you more as an expendable commodity rather than a living, breathing human person who likes to go to the movies on Fridays and likes to order pay-per-view wrestling. So if you're doing that, then just know that the government doesn't care about you so much as you might think. I mean, you're a nice guy, I'm sure, but if you're more of a consumer than like a doer, somebody who produces things, then I don't think that there's really any place for you to understand that you're being taken advantage of, you know? And, you know, there's nothing wrong with being taken advantage of. If you're being taken advantage of, and you're okay with that, then all the more power to you. You know, I don't want to tell you that you're wrong if you're not. If you don't feel like you're wrong, then don't let me convince you that you are. You know, that's really all I'm saying. Is that, I mean, everybody's got their own opinions, everybody's got their own thoughts and ideas, and if you want to tell me that what I'm saying is insensitive, or maybe I'm being like weirdly racist, misogynistic in some way, which I don't believe that I am, but if you think so, then go ahead and think that. I don't really have any, I don't care. I don't think that I'm being those things, and if you think that I am, then that's your own prerogative. Good, I'm glad. Oh, thank you. I'm glad. So, yeah, basically what I'm saying is that don't let other people convince you that you are being something that you are not. Or if you don't think you're being something that you are not, then don't let them try to persuade you in such a way, in such a loud and unforgiving, non-understanding way, you know? Just be yourself. That's all you gotta do. Just be yourself, because that's all anybody can really do anymore. It's just be themselves, you know? And if you try to be someone that you're not, then you're probably just gonna crash and burn. And if you crash and burn, doing something like that, then you become not so credible anymore. Like I was talking about before, when you are applying for a job, you got to be credible. You got to say things that are true, even if you stretch the truth a little bit. Not so much that you are telling a lie, but just that maybe you're leaving out details, or maybe you're building up your accomplishments to be more than they actually were, or maybe you just want to go out on Black Friday and have a good time, buy things for way cheaper than you would normally buy them for the rest of the year, like television sets and stuff like that. Then you have to go out of your way to wait in line for like an hour and a half to buy those things. And if you do that, then I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You're stimulating your economy, like I said before earlier. You stimulate your economy when you buy things from the U.S. Like you buy a television by Emerson or Sony. If you want to spend more money on something like that, then that's up to you. That's your own thing. That's what you do. You do that thing. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with being a consumer, as long as you're not like buying stuff because you see it in a commercial, and you're only buying things because you think that it's actually necessary for you to own. Like I would never, never go out and buy a laptop computer for like $600 just because you saw one in a commercial. And it's like, well, I want that thing, I want to own that and have that in my house. You have to go out and buy things that you actually need, like groceries, or maybe you do need a computer, but you want to buy like a cheap one, like what I did. I bought like the cheapest one that they had at Best Buy, which turned out to be better than what I was hoping for, because most laptop computers these days come as tablets with detachable keyboards and touchscreens. And honestly, I hate touchscreens. I can't stand touchscreens because it gets so dirty and gross, and then you have to like get a screen protector or something like that, and you have to wash it every once in a while. Whereas you could just get like a normal old school laptop computer without the touchscreen and spend less money on it too. So I prefer to have a touchscreen, and they also cost less money. So it's a smart idea for me to buy that thing, the thing that I would prefer to have. I used to have a cell phone that had a slide-out keyboard. It was an Android cell phone, and it had a slide-out keyboard, but it also had a touchscreen. I never used the touchscreen, not even one time. I always used the slide-out keyboard because it was way more efficient for me, and it was less gross. It was less gross to use the slide-out keyboard, so that's what I did. And I think that I made the right choice getting that, but then it broke, and I had to get a new one, and the new one was worse because it didn't... First of all, it broke right away. It broke like within the first month. The screen cracked, and I kept that phone for another year and a half, even though the screen was cracked. Can you believe that? A year and a half to have a phone that had a cracked screen that broke right away. They wouldn't replace it because they couldn't verify that it wasn't my fault cracking that screen. So anyways, thank you for watching SparkleDart. Goodbye, moi. Next time more cell phone talk. Probably not. I don't know. We'll find out. Goodbye, moi.